Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we from Group 2 are going to present meeting and resolution of public listed companies in Malaysia. My name is Muhammad Ifrat bin Zainabdin, and without further ado, I am going to continue with the presentation. So for the introduction, firstly, what is annual general meeting, or in short AGM? In general, it is a yearly gathering or meeting of companies' interested shareholders, for which the directors of the company present their company's financial performance, and for the shareholders to vote on issues and resolution discussed in the meeting. For this assignment, our group has chosen three public listed companies in Malaysia, which are Able Group Berhad, and then My News Holdings Berhad, and Lotus KFM Berhad. We reviewed each of the company's notice of AGM for the year issued after March 2020 to the current date.
My name is Nurdini Video Masis. I will continue the presentation with the notification of AGM to shareholders. The notification of AGM to shareholders in Able Group Berhad and My News Holdings Berhad were advertised in the newspaper, which is the New Straits Times, and published in their website on the same day. Meanwhile, for Lotus KFM Berhad, the notice was notified through the electronic form and published in their website and also the Bursa Malaysia website. In our opinion, Lotus KFM Berhad are more comfortable in advertising the notice in newspaper because it is more efficient and inclusive choice, which become the advantage for the shareholders who are not internet savvy or have no access to the internet or both. As for Able Group Berhad and My News Holdings Berhad, they use electronic platform as their channel to notify the shareholders because it is the easiest way, since people nowadays are depending more on the internet to search for any news and information. Thus, we can say that the notification of AGM to shareholders for Able Group Berhad, Lotus KFM Berhad, and also My News Holdings Berhad will comply with Section 319 of Companies Act 2016, in which they follow the Act notified by their shareholders by using electronic form and also published in company's website. Next, from the analysis that we made on the notice of AGM of Able Group Berhad, Lotus KFM Berhad, and My News Holdings Berhad, all these companies comply with Section 320 by stating the place, date, and day of the meeting and also the hour at which the meeting is scheduled, which make it convenient to all members. Furthermore, all the three companies also comply with Section 316 Companies Act 2016, in which a meeting of members of a public company shall be called by notice at least 21 days of any longer period specified in its constitution. In this case, Able Group Berhad has issued the notification of AGM to shareholders 30 days before the AGM took place, while Lotus KFM Berhad issued the notice 55 days before the AGM, and My News Holdings Berhad issued the notice 61 days before the AGM took place. All companies are good as they comply with Company Act 2016. But if the notice is issued too early, like Lotus KFM Berhad and My News Holdings Berhad, the probability that the shareholders might forget about the meeting is high. Maybe they can try to shorten the notice to be issued at least a month before the real AGM took place, or just follow the Companies Act requirement, which is 21 days before the meeting.
It shows that all the companies comply with the Section 316 of the Companies Act 2016, which a meeting of members of a public company, other than a meeting for the passing of a special resolution, shall be called by notice in the case of an annual general meeting, at least 21 days or any longer period specified in its constitution, and in any case at least 14 days or any longer period specified in its constitution. In our opinion, both companies should try to shorten the period between the date of issuing the notice and the date of the AGM, so that the meeting could be held smoothly without being forgotten by the members and the shareholders to attend it.
Move on to the date of current AGM versus date of the latest AGM. In this case, although the meeting of the three companies is not held within 6 months of the company's financial year, but they still comply with the Companies Act 2016 requirement, as the current AGM is held not more than 15 months after the last preceding annual general meeting. For example, as seen in the slide above, Able Group Berhad has the shortest period where it held its current AGM 8 months after the last preceding AGM, while Lotus KFM Berhad held the AGM 12 months after the last preceding annual general meeting, and My News Holdings Berhad current AGM is held 13th month after the last preceding of annual general meeting. This shows that all the three companies comply with Section 340 Subsection 2 of Companies Act 2016, of which a company shall conduct its annual general meeting AGM within 6 months of the company's financial year, and the second one not more than 15th month after the last preceding of annual general meeting.
Okay, so next I will continue with the mode and platform of the annual general meeting. For Able Group Berhad, the company decided to hold the meeting physically for the 27th May 2022 AGM at Hotel Armada Petaling Jaya, which is the same venue to held their last meeting. Similar to Lotus KFM Berhad, they held their AGM physically too on the 22nd March 2022 at IOI Resort City Putrajaya. As for My News Holdings Berhad, the company did not held the AGM physically. Instead, they reserved a third-party platform, which they broadcast a live stream of the meeting via online on the 26th April 2022. Okay, Able Group Berhad and Lotus KFM Berhad held their AGM physically, as it is more convenient than attending a general meeting virtually. This is because all shareholders could attend the meeting and discuss smoothly in the meeting, and easier for them to make their vote and avoid issues such as slow or interrupted internet connections. So the virtual meeting is still in compliance with the Companies Act 2016 as stated in section 327 subsection 1, which provides that the company may convene a meeting of members at more than one venue using technology or method that enables the members of the company to participate and exercise their rights to speak and vote at the meeting. Due to lack of expertise, My News also hired a third party for their AGM broadcast live stream, which is the TIIH Online.
Next, I will continue with the appointment of proxy. In accordance to Section 334 of Companies Act 2016, all the three companies comply with the requirement of Companies Act 2016 on the appointment of proxy. This is because in the notice of annual general meeting provided by the three companies, it stated that a member shall be entitled to appoint another person to attend the meeting on their behalf, which are known as the member's proxy. This person may participate, speak, and vote on the member's behalf at the meeting. Plus, all these three companies did not state and put any restriction or limitation on the qualification of the proxy. This is aligned with the Companies Act 2016, by which they also have removed the restriction on who is qualified to be appointed as a proxy, and currently a member can appoint anyone to be their proxy. Moreover, regarding the deposit of proxy from all the three companies, in order to be valid, the instrument appointing a proxy must be deposited at the share registrar office of the company not less than 48 hours before the time for holding the meeting or adjourned meeting. The only thing that is different and only stated in the notice of My News Holdings Berhad is they allow the appointment of a proxy to be made in by electronic form, of which the proxy form must be electronically logged with the share registrar of the company via website. Meanwhile, Able Group Berhad and Lotus KFM Berhad only mention the appointment of proxy through hard copy form. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Dini. Now I'll explain on the voting procedures of the meetings. For the voting procedure, it is mentioned under Section 293 of Companies Act 2016. When the vote done by the written resolution, every member will have one vote for each share held by them. For vote by show of hands, each member will only represent one vote, while vote on a poll, each member will have one vote every share held by them. Other than that, Section 293 subsection 2 provide that the member will not eligible to vote for the unpaid share. Section 294 subsection 1 provide that proxy appointed by the members may vote by hands, but Section 294 subsection 2 stated that if the proxy appointed is more than one, the vote will be held by poll. Proceed with the voting procedures for the companies. Lotus KFM stated in their notice that voting will be held by poll and allow members to have more than one proxy as the representative. Meanwhile, for My News and Able, they did not state in their notice to vote by hands or poll. But since the members are allowed to have not more than two proxies, so they supposedly to vote by poll. Members need to specify number of shares represented by the proxy because vote of each proxy will be considered as the amount of shares specified to them. Now, I'll pass to Farah for the next point.
Next, I will explain about the meeting agenda. The meeting agenda is the notice of AGM of My News, Lotus KFM Berhad and Able Group Berhad is classified under ordinary and special business. All the companies comply with the Section 317 of the Companies Act 2000 meeting, whereas a notice of a meeting of members of a company may include the text of any proposed resolution and other information as the directors deem fit. It also complies with the Section 340 of the Companies Act 2016, which it should include audited financial statements, re-election of the director, appointment and the fixing of the fees of director, and any resolutions or other business of which notice is given. As analysis from My News, the company has 7 agendas that will be presented or discussed during the AGM, of which 71% is related to the ordinary business, while another 29% is related to the special business. Besides that, for Lotus KFM Berhad, there are 7 agendas in total that will be presented during the AGM, of which 55.7% of the meeting agenda is related to the ordinary business, while another 43% is related to the special business. Meanwhile, for Able Group Berhad, the company has 8 agendas that will be presented during the AGM, of which 50% of the meeting agenda is related to the ordinary business, while another 50% is related to the special business. For the Strategic company, the meeting agenda of the ordinary business is the same as receiving the audited financial statement, payment of director's fees, re-elect the director, and reappoint the auditor. Except for the My News, it has another edition, of which is a payment of directors' meeting allowance. While for the special business, all the 3 companies have similar meeting agendas, which are about authority to allot shares and proposed renewal of existing shareholders' mandates for current related party transaction of a revenue or trading. However, Lotus KFM Berhad and Able Group Berhad have additional special business agenda of proposed amendment to the constitution of the company and retention of Chang Man-sang and Yoh Chong-ket as the independent director. Not all meeting agenda in ordinary business and special business will be included in the resolution. It must be voted first before it can be classified in ordinary resolution and special resolution.
Thank you, Farah. Next, Section 340 subsection 1 mentioned that there are 4 things considered as ordinary business in the meeting, which are the laying audited financial statements and the report of the directors and auditors, the election of directors in place of those retiring, the appointment and the fixings of the fee of directors, and any resolution or other business of which notice is given in accordance with the Act or the Constitution. For these 3 companies, the notice has stated that the ordinary business are in accordance with the Section 340 subsection 1, while other than that, is considered as special business in the meeting. For special business, Able Group state about retention of their independent director and Lotus proposed for amendments of their constitution. Only these 2 things are different on the special business between the 3 companies. Other than that, they are having almost similar things in the special business. Now I'll pass to Ifwan.
So next, I will continue the presentation for the resolution to be passed for each of the companies. So for Able Group Berhad, there are 9 ordinary resolutions to be passed in the AGM. For the ordinary resolutions of the ordinary business, The discussion involves the inquiry of approval for the payment of directors' fees and allowance, performance to re-elect two directors retiring pursuant to Article 92 of the company's constitution to reappoint Messrs. SBY Partners PLT as company's auditors and to authorize the directors to fix their remunerations. For the special business, it consists of consideration for retention of two directors as independent directors of Able Group Berhad, to consider the authority for directors to issue shares and to allow the proposed renewal of existing shareholders mandate for the recurrent related transactions of revenue or trading nature. So My News Holding Berhad has the same number of ordinary share as Able Group Berhad for their AGM. For the ordinary business, the resolution consists of proposal to approve the payment of the directors' fees for 3 directors, to approve payment of directors' meeting allowance, to re-elect 2 directors who are retiring in accordance with Article 114, subsection 1 of the company's constitution, and lastly to reappoint Messrs. Grant Thornton Malaysia PLT as company's auditor for their ensuing year and to authorize the directors to fix their remunerations. For the special business consists of 2 ordinary resolutions, which are to consider the authority to allot shares pursuant to the Section 75 and 76 of the Companies Act 2016 and propose a renewal of existing shareholders mandate for recurrent related parties and transactions of a revenue or trading nature as set out in Section 2.4 of the Circular of Shareholders dated 24th February 2022. Lastly, for the Lotus KFM Berhad, the AGM consists of 6 ordinary resolutions and 1 special resolution. The ordinary business consists of requests to approve payment of directors' fees and benefits for the period commencing, to re-elect 2 directors who retire by rotation pursuant to Clause 85 of Company's Constitution, and to reappoint Grant Thornton Malaysia PLT as auditors of the company and to authorize the directors to fix their remuneration. For the special business, it consists of 2 ordinary resolutions, which to consider general authority for the directors to allot and issue shares pursuant to Section 75 and 76 of Companies Act 2016 and propose a renewal of existing shareholders mandate for recurrent related party transactions of a revenue and or trading nature. For the special resolution, the company requests to propose amendments to the constitution of the company. So based on all the resolution for the 3 companies, we can see that there are few resolutions that are similar to each company. All 3 companies requested to approve the payment of directors' fee and allowance and to re-elect their retiring directors, also to reappoint their respective auditors. For the special business, My News Holding Berhad and Lotus KFM Berhad have one in common resolution, which is to consider the authority for directors to allot and issue shares in compliance with the sections 76 and 75 of the Companies Act 2016. While for other resolution of Lotus KFM is also similar with Able Group Berhad, which to consider the proposed renewal of existing shareholders' mandate. So that is all for me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Ifat. I will conclude for the overall analysis, where we can say that even though our country is facing the pandemic and all people are affected due to it, these 3 companies are still complying with the regulation and law provided in the Companies Act 2016 in holding their annual general meeting. It shows that their dedication towards the members of the company. And that's all from our group. Thank you.